Donnie will.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call of Alderman.
Alderman Hazel.
Here.
Alderman Kinsella.
Here.
Alderwoman Pusa. Alderman Bittner.
Here.
Alderman Randall.
Here.
Alderman Tyler.
Here.
Alderman Anthony.
Here.
Alderman Ovian.
Here.
Alderwoman Schaefer.
Here.
Alderman Dintelman.
Here.
Alderman Gah.
Here.
Alderwoman Steele. Here. Alderman Weigant. Alderman Elmore.
Here.
Alderman Wigington.
Here.
Alderman Barfield.
Here. Alderman Pusa and Alderman Weigant are excused. Roll call of department heads.
City Treasurer Hart.
Here.
City Attorney Horner. Police Chief Bill Clay. Fire Chief Tom Poor. Finance Director Jamie Matrit. City Engineer Tim Gregowitz. Director of Maintenance Ken Vaughn. Human Resource Director Sherry Salvatore. Director of Parks and Recreation Debbie Belleville. Director of Public Works Jason Poole. Director of Wastewater Royce Carlisle. Interim Director of Residential and Commercial Development Services Anissa McCaskill. Director of Library Leander Spearman.
Leander, Royce, Tom Poor, Garrett, and Sherry are all excused. Brian Flynn is here this evening, and Kenny Vaughn's excused also, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, before we have the pledge, most of you by now might have heard, but Alderman Pusa, we received a call this morning, is in the hospital, and we'd ask that you would keep her and her family in your thoughts and prayers. She's over at Barnes Hospital, still doing a lot of testing, but facing what appears to be a pretty challenging few days. So we're kind of shocked when we got the phone call this morning that she was over at Barnes. So I just ask that you would keep her in your thoughts and her family. And Joe, that was nice that you put a flower there for Jane tonight, because we were just all with her the other day, and she's such a spunky gal. It's just it hurts to see her. It hurts to see her hurting. So at this time, if I could ask you all to stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Couple quick housekeeping things. We have a few new faces here tonight. If we'd ever have to leave here because of smoke or fire, heaven forbid, we'd ask that you'd carefully and quietly exit one of the two doors, find your way outside safely. We would ask that you would possibly try to go over to in front of the courthouse sign so that we can check with everybody and make sure the people you came with got out okay. If we had a storm and we had to seek shelter, city employees, staff would guide you across the lobby. Right across from the clerk's office is a set of stairs that goes downstairs to a safe place in the basement. As we speak in a few minutes, aldermen in the meeting, please remember to use your microphones, and to the guest, if someone does choose to speak at public participation, please come to that microphone and give your name and speak into the microphone so the recordings do pick it up. We have no public hearing this evening. At this time, I will open public participation. Is there anyone who'd like to address the council this evening? Okay, hearing none, we will close public participation and we will move on. We have no presentations, recognitions, or appointments this evening. The approval of the minutes from the last meeting, I'd ask for a motion to approve the City Council meeting minutes from February 4th, 2019. Alderman Wigington, second by Alderman Schaefer. Any additions or corrections to the minutes that you've read? All in favor of receiving and filing the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have the claims, payroll, and disbursements. I'd ask for a motion to approve the claims and disbursements in the amount of $1,199,335.73, and the payroll in the amount of $845,034.83. Do I hear a motion? Alderman Steele, second by Alderman Schaefer. Discussion on those items. Roll call.
Hazel.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Bittner.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Ovian.
Aye.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Gah.
Aye.
Steele. Elmore. Wiggington. Barfield.
Motion carries. We go on to a treasurer's report dating December 2018 and January 2019, and also a statement of cash and investments report 2018 and January 2019. What's your pleasure? Move to receive and file. Second by Elmore. Motion was by Schaefer. Second by Elmore to receive and file those reports. Any questions on those reports? All in favor of receive and file signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We go to the standing committees. Finance Committee, Alderman Kinsella.
On behalf of the Finance Committee, I make a motion to approve entering into an agreement with Messerow Insurance Services Incorporated, an Alliant-owned company for brokerage services for the city's health insurance coverage.
Motion by Alderman Kinsella, second by Alderman Gah. Any discussion on this? Roll call.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Bittner. Randall. Tyler. Anthony. Ovian. Schaefer. Dintelman. Gah. Steele. Elmore. Wiggington. Barfield. Hazel.
Motion carries. Alderman Kinsella.
On behalf of the Finance Committee, I make a motion to approve waiving rezoning fees for 501 Hecker Street.
Motion by Alderman Kinsella. Do I hear second by Alderman Schaefer? Any discussion on this item? This, as you know, is actually a request of our wastewater treatment project that we're doing over there, and we're working cooperatively with these folks. If there's no further, I'd ask for a roll call.
Bittner. Randall. Tyler. Anthony. Ovian. Schaefer. Dintelman. Gah. Steele. Elmore. Wiggington. Barfield. Hazel. Kinsella.
Aye.
Motion carries. Last one, Alderman Kinsella.
On behalf of the Finance Committee, I make a motion to approve the budget amendments as recommended by the Finance Director.
Motion by Alderman Kinsella, second by Alderman Schaefer. Any discussion on this item? Roll call once again.
Randall. Tyler. Anthony. Ovian. Schaefer. Dintelman. Gah. Steele. Elmore. Wiggington. Barfield. Hazel. Kinsella. Bittner.
Motion carries. Traffic Committee, Alderman Ovian.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item 11B1, motion to amend section 70.44, terms prohibitive of chapter 70, general provisions. So moved.
Motion by Alderman Ovian, second by Alderman Steele. Any discussion on this item? All in favor of this motion signify by saying aye and having the proper ordinance drawn. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I drugged it out too long, sorry. Streets and Grades, Alderman Wiggington.
On behalf of Streets and Grades Committee, I'd like to make a motion to approve the joint agreement with St. Clair County and the City of Belleville for signal modifications and addition of left turn lane at Frank Scott Parkway and North Belt West. So moved.
We have a motion by Alderman Wiggington, second by Alderman Schaefer. Any discussion on this motion? Roll call.
Tyler. Anthony. Ovian. Schaefer. Dintelman. Gah. Steele. Elmore. Wiggington. Barfield. Hazel. Kinsella. Bittner. Randall.
Motion carries. Alderman Wiggington.
On behalf of Streets and Grades Committee, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agreement with SCI Engineering Incorporated for testing services at various locations. So moved.
Motion by Alderman Wiggington. We have a second again by Alderman Schaefer. She's paying attention here. Any discussion on that motion? Roll call again.
Anthony. Ovian. Schaefer. Dintelman. Gah. Steele. Elmore. Wiggington. Barfield. Hazel. Kinsella. Bittner. Randall. Tyler.
Motion carries. And one more, Alderman Wiggington. I believe maybe it's...
We're going to hold off on this. We had a very good discussion on this in Streets and Grades. We don't have quite the finished product yet.
Motion to table?
Motion to table.
Motion by Alderman Wiggington, second by Alderman Steele to table item 11C3. All in favor of tabling this item signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Master Sewer Committee, Alderman Dintelman.
On behalf of the Master Sewer Committee, I'd like to make a motion to approve an agreement between the Department of Army Corps of Engineers and the City of Belleville for construction assistance for the East Creek Sewer Separation Project.
Motion by Alderman Dintelman, second by Alderman Hazel. Do I hear discussion on this item? Roll call.
Ovian. Schaefer. Dintelman.
Aye.
Gah. Steele. Elmore. Wiggington. Barfield.
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Bittner.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Tyler. Anthony.
Motion carries. We go to Planning Commission, Alderman Dillman, I guess.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Yekel and Associates Insurance Service Incorporated. The site plan and architectural elevations for a 1,487 square foot addition to the existing office building at 1915 through 1921 West Main Street. Parcel numbers, excuse me, parcel number 08-20.0-403-009 and 08-20.0-403-010 and 08-20.0-403-011, located on approximately 27,306 square foot C2 heavy commercial district zoned area. It's Ward 2. Planning Commission recommended approval of the site plan on February 6, 2019.
Motion by Alderman Dillman, second by Alderman Hazel. Any discussion further on this item here? Roll call.
Schaefer.
Aye.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Gah.
Aye.
Steele. Elmore. Wigington. Barfield.
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Bittner. Randall. Tyler. Anthony. Ovian.
Motion carries. We go on to, well, which is no longer public health and housing, but I'd ask Alderman, Poos is not here, if someone would make a motion to repeal the ordinance number 8294 regarding the scrapping of the 2004 Dodge Dakota VIN number as
I'll make
printed
that
here.
motion.
Motion by Alderman Wigington. Do I hear a second by Steele? Let me just explain. When we got rid of a bunch of vehicles, this was probably the one that at that time Bob Sable and I talked about the most, and then Jeff Hydarn. What happened is, now that the police department is taking over animal control with our changes, we got one truck that's in, good shape and fully equipped, and we had a cage, but we found that this truck here fit the cage perfectly, that we didn't have to go out and find another new truck as a backup. So our mechanics on staff at the various departments did quite a bit of work, but it was still very reasonable, and put this truck back in operations. Jason drove it for several days, and I think maybe, did you or Jeff? You both did, and we feel comfortable that it's an adequate backup for now, save us from buying another new truck just for a spare. So this is what we did. So we need a motion here, as you just made, to repeal this scrapping ordinance that we already had your permission to scrap. So if everybody understands that long explanation, I'd ask for a roll call vote.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Gah.
Aye.
Steele. Elmore.
Aye.
Wigington.
Aye.
Barfield.
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Bittner. Randall. Tyler. Anthony. Ovian. Schaefer.
Aye.
Motion carries. To all the police officers here, I'm sorry, but your police and fire board promotions wasn't until Thursday, so you were down on the agenda. So I apologize for that, your wait. Administration, I'd ask for a motion to approve amending bank designations for depositories of city funds. Do I hear a motion? Motion by Schaefer, second by Gah. Any discussion on this item? I'd ask for a roll call vote.
Gah.
Aye.
Steele. Elmore. Wigington. Barfield.
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Bittner. Randall. Tyler. Anthony. Ovian. Schaefer.
Aye.
Dintelman.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, let me give a brief explanation. You should have received the packet and if somebody couldn't pull it up or had a problem, I have a couple run off here. If somebody needs this, so as we told you, it's a very bittersweet year. We got a number of people retiring, and our very loyal, longtime director of Parks and Rec, I'm not trying to show her age, but I think it is remarkable that Debbie's completing 35 years of service. Now, she started when she was 10. Is that right? That's what she told me to tell him. So, but she probably was 18, honestly. But she's been here a long time in Parks and Rec. I knew this was coming, but with so much going on, you know, we're trying to make sure that we're giving a good view as some things are in the works of changing. As you all know, we're still looking at so many projects and money and everything else. So I had told Jason Poole when he first went to Public Works several years ago that when the time came that Debbie did choose to retire, and we knew that was in the future, not too many years off at that time, that I would still give him first right of refusal if he wanted to go back, because he was the assistant director there for a long time. And then, as you know, we made some adjustments after Jason took over this job, and we did like a lot of cities do. We moved parks maintenance into the Public Works, and that's worked well. And he and John Hartman, even though we know that they're stretched pretty thin, we've talked about this, and we're not unhappy with that decision by any means, but it's been an adjustment too. So what I'm proposing tonight, there's three motions here. The first one is a motion to approve the reorganization proposal for Parks and Recreation and Public Works. This is a one-year pilot, and there's some method to my madness. In the next year and the next few months down the road, we're going to have a lot of serious conversations about the future of TIF 3. We know that TIF 3 is usually for almost every park except I think one, it's been the match every time we've got a park grant. And we know that we got to rethink some of that thinking and how we're moving forward. So I'm asking for a one-year pilot. Program would go into effect technically April 14th. Debbie's last day is April 12th, so that next Monday, the pay period. I'm proposing that Jason would continue his duties. We will give him a stipend if you've read it. He will be the interim director of Parks and Rec also. I didn't throw this on him without his thinking long and hard and agreeing. This was not a threat to him. He actually went home and had conversation with his wife, and she is still talking to me. But we're proposing this as a pilot to give us a chance to kind of better take a look at some things as we do some adjusting and some, thinking in the future how we're going to move some of these projects and programs forward. We've also had some conversations about a future recplex. It's not a secret. We've talked about it. We've talked with our schools and with our university and et cetera, and we have no plans at the moment, but I think this next year will give us a chance to have some serious conversations about where might we see ourselves in the future, and with those conversations come more concrete, then I think it makes a difference on the leadership we're looking for in Parks and Rec in the future. So this is what I'm proposing, the thinking, and with staff that we've talked about this. So my first motion is asking for a motion to approve the reorganization as spelled out, Parks and Rec, this one-year pilot, and program goes into effect April 14th. Do I hear a motion to that request? Alderman Dillman, second by Alderman Steele. Any discussion on that first motion? Roll call.
Steele? Aye. Elmore? Aye. Wiggington?
Aye.
Barfield?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Kinsella?
Aye.
Bittner?
Aye.
Randall?
Aye.
Tyler?
Aye.
Anthony?
Aye.
Ovian?
Aye.
Schaefer?
Aye.
Dintelman?
Aye.
Gott?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next part of this is I'm requesting a motion to appoint Jason Poole as the interim director of Parks and Recreation in addition to his current position as director of Public Works. With this addition, this is a one-year stipend in the amount of $10,000, goes into effect April 14, 2019. Alderman Kinsella makes the motion, seconded by Hazel. Any discussion on this second motion? Alderman Wiggington first, and then you. Go ahead, one of you.
I just had one question. Will Jason and Johnny Hartman and Craig work out of the Public Works building what buildings are they gonna, their offices be in?
John and Craig will work out of Public Works primarily. Jason's office will be at the Parks and Rec.
Okay,
Okay, does that sound right? So that's the plan, okay? Alderman Elmore?
I understand the stipend for Jason Poole. And I see on the chart a lot of names. Are any of these, because these people's jobs obviously will also.
The other two
increase.
people we're talking about there?
I'm talking about Lisa Sharp, Casey Simmons, and Carrie Owens. all
Well,
the other-
they're not gonna be
I know
any
we're not
more
gonna-
impacted. The two that we had already talked about with, that they were already in the budgeting process was Pat and Lindsay from the Parks Department, and we've already adjusted a slight adjustment for them in our budget for the normal budget year.
Increases.
Increases, because they, really and truthfully, the last 6 months, when Debbie was away for a little bit, they took on a few extra things, and we discussed this. So we did have an adjustment, but that would have probably happened regardless if Debbie retired right now. This will be monitored, and if they continue to adjust more or take on more, then that'll be a recommendation from Jason as we go forward. And that's the whole purpose of this. They're relatively new with the city, a couple years, and I think this gives them a great opportunity to grow some more in their positions and just see what they're capable of as well. So we're at an opportune time. It's just change always causes challenges, and that's what we're just gonna take our time and kind of do a year of evaluating and dreaming and looking forward to the future, how we can grow things. So that's what that's about. Now, the other one, so at this point, I'd like to go ahead. Do we have a motion now? Did we have
Motion and a second.
we have a motion and a second. I'd like to vote on this next one, and then I'll explain the third one, because there's a few things there I want to explain and get it out. This is the most challenging part of tonight's meeting, I think. So we have a motion and we have a second about 11G3 pertaining to appointing Jason Poole as the interim director of this position, as well as maintaining his regular job, and this is with the stipend that is spelled out. If there's no further questions, I'd ask for a roll call vote on this motion.
Elmore?
Aye.
Wiggington?
Aye.
Barfield?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Kinsella?
Aye.
Bittner? Randall? Tyler? Anthony? Ovian? Schaefer? Dintelman?
Aye.
Gah?
Aye.
Steele?
Motion carries. If you turn the page on 11G4, I'm going to ask here in just a moment for a motion to appoint Craig Maui as Assistant Director of Public Works / Parks Maintenance and Cemetery Operations with an annual salary in the amount of $70,937.82 effective May 1st, 2019. Now, this is new, and we've talked about this ever since well, for a number of years. You all know that we've taken on a second cemetery by accident. We've got duties at Mount Hope. As Jason and I were talking, in the summertime with the part-time summer help, he and John had been supervising 65 people, right, Jason? So we've talked about adding another assistant director of another management person to oversee. There's only, those two guys are the only two in management that oversee all those Teamsters, laborers, and part-time in the summertime. So they've had their hands full for a long time, and we know it. And then, once again, this is the same two guys. When the weather gets like tonight, their guys are called out. They're on call to go shovel the snow and the ice, put down salt, etc. If we have a storm, they're out there with the chainsaws opening the roads if there's trees down, etc. So we need that extra person. Now, we've been short, if you follow me for some time. We've not replaced several people in the street department and in the sanitation department, and we've been holding 5, right, Jason, in the parks. So we're committed to replacing Craig Maui when he comes out of this proposed move to management. We would replace him and keep the 5 people in the parks and rec maintenance, because they've taken on a lot more parks in recent years, and we've not increased the number of manpower. Craig has been with the city approximately 20 years. He has a degree, a 4-year degree in, I think, was it forestry? Forestry, and Jason feels very comfortable. Craig has to come out of the union to do this, and we've sat down with him and went over all the pros and cons. We will do some training with Craig as far as management training. Sherry, before she leaves, is going to have several classes and run both him and John through both of them, I think, just as a way to, because John's relatively new but doing a great job, but just to make sure that everybody gets a fair amount of training as possible. And then we'll keep our eyes open. Sometimes IDOT has a class for management of people working in those types of jobs, and we'll be glad to send them both, whatever, to that as well. We want to get them up to speed so they feel comfortable, but we feel this is something that needs to be done. Jamie and I have talked about it. It's in the budget. We're okay. We're okay with these moves because we've, like I said, gone for quite a while where we didn't fill every position that left, and we definitely need the manpower to do the work, but we also definitely need one more person to keep an eye and direction and give leadership to the projects and outline the work for these 65 people in the summer months when we have all that extra part-time help too. So that's our request now is to motion, I'm asking for a motion to appoint Craig Maui, as I just stated in 11G4. Motion by Alderman Consilla. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman Wiggington. Do I hear any further discussion on this?
Mayor,
Yes.
number one, I think it's a great idea to add John and Craig as both as assistant directors with the workload that Jason's going to take on. I think you've got two people here with a lot of background qualifications. These are such incredibly important areas of our city, and we need two really good people, well-trained, to give Jason, who's certainly got a lot on his plate now. And so, you know, I mean, I can't wait, you know, till the end of the year, it's a 1-year pilot program, but I think the way you're breaking this down is incredibly important to the success of this program.
The other thing I didn't mention, but I did in recent weeks, sat down and talked to Kenny Vaughn, our Director of Maintenance. In the past, you may not have known, but even though Kenny oversaw the building maintenance of our city buildings, he never did really oversee the buildings within the Parks Department, the Nichols Center, Stone Lodge, the various concession stands, etc. I've informed Kenny that he is going to have to pick up that responsibility, which they're still going to be working together with these gentlemen on these projects, and certain things the Parks Department will still do as far as cleaning the restrooms at the parks. The guys in that will go out and do that. But far as maintenance, Kenny will take this on, which makes sense. And when there's a scheduled contract to do something, he will do that. A couple years ago, that would have been tough to throw that at Kenny when he was overseeing City Hall renovations or the police station. He had some extra significant workload for a couple years. That's behind us now, and so Kenny's going to take on these extra few buildings as well. Roger?
And the other thing, when you were just talking a minute ago, and I may have misunderstood, when you mentioned Sherry, and I might have misunderstood completely, I thought you said before Sherry leaves,
She's leaving in May. You didn't
Okay.
know that? Our HR director. Okay.
Okay.
Well, somehow you missed that one. I thought
missed that
everybody
one.
knew that by now. But yes, Sherry's going to be leaving in May, and so we're going to be advertising for her position real well too. And we're already starting to do some, thoughts and planning on that. And I guess the other secret is not a secret anymore either, but our good friend Rich Peppers is moving to a warmer climate in the back of the room there. So we're going to lose Rich by what, July, Rich? So we're looking for IT specialists too as well. So I'm making a plug. We're looking for an HR director in the next few weeks as I got these things settled, and we'll be looking for, so change does happen. So we love them all, we appreciate them all, and we're going to miss them, but we're going to hold our good thoughts that we're going to find some good people. So right now, there's a motion, is there a motion here yet?
Yes,
We have a motion and a second
correct.
on 11G4 to appoint Craig Maui as a second Assistant Director of Public Works, Parks, Maintenance, and Cemetery. And one last comment before I call for the vote. Wow. If you looked at John's job description, his is going to say sanitation slash public works, the street department. But they're going to be interacting. They're going to cross-train, and if one of them's on vacation or absent, they're going to both be equally ready, as John has done this past year or so. He's filled in when they needed him at the parks maintenance to oversee something. So we will cross-train these guys so that they can all help each other. Okay? We have motion, we have a second. I'm going to call for a roll call vote.
Wiggington,
Aye.
Barfield,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Bittner, Randall, Tyler, Anthony, Ovian, Schaefer, Dintelman,
Aye.
Gah,
Aye.
Steele, Elmore.
Motion carries, and I thank you for giving this a try. At this time, we go to Board of Fire and Police Commission. They met this past Thursday, and once again, due to constant retirements and changes, it constantly triggers a need to promote. So Lieutenant Hurling, I'd say relatively unexpectedly, had an opportunity and chose to retire in just recent days, and that was kind of a bit of a shock to us. So tonight, the first motion is, I ask for a motion to approve Master Sergeant Chris Mattingly to Lieutenant, effective Wednesday, February 20th, 2019, at 12:01 a.m. Do I hear a motion? Motion by Hazel, second by God. Do I hear discussion on the first promotion? Roll call.
Barfield,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Bittner, Randall, Tyler, Anthony, Ovian, Schaefer, Dintelman,
Aye.
Gah,
Aye.
Steele, Elmore, Wiggington.
Motion carries. The second promotion, I'd ask for a motion to promote Detective Michael Pierce to Sergeant, effective Wednesday, February 20th, 2019, at 12:01 a.m. Tyler and Anthony, Alderman Anthony would make the motion. You're the chairman of that committee, or not chairman of that committee, you were on that committee. And second by Alderman Tyler to promote Michael Pierce to Sergeant. Any discussion on that promotion? Roll call.
Hazel,
Aye.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Bittner, Randall, Tyler, Anthony, Ovian, Schaefer, Dintelman,
Aye.
Gah,
Aye.
Steele, Elmore, Wiggington, Barfield.
Motion carries. We go to a motion to recommend to hire Ethan, is it Brinson? Correct? As a probationary police officer effective Monday, March 4th, 2019. And let's just put these two together if it's okay. Also a motion to hire probationary police officer Jordan Miller, effective Monday, March 4th, 2019.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Wiggington, seconded by Schaefer. Any discussion on those two hires for probationary police officers? Roll call.
Kinsella,
Aye.
Bittner, Randall, Tyler, Anthony, Ovian, Schaefer, Dintelman,
Aye.
Gah,
Aye.
Steele, Elmore, Wiggington, Barfield,
Aye.
Hazel.
Aye.
Motion carries. Chief, you want to introduce a few people?
You guys may know this is Master Sergeant Chris Mattingly. He's sort of the person that does some of everything. You guys know that. He runs our police academy. He is in investigations, street crime unit, honor guard. He has tasked him now. He also runs the dispatching unit with 15 employees there. He's just been all around and all sorts of things and continues to do that. May not know Mike Pierce, works in investigations. He's a detective. He's on the major case squad, lead homicide investigator. He's worked in traffic before, all around, just patrol, you name it. He's well-rounded. We're very pleased and very happy to have both these people on. They're going to do us very well. You folks know the drill by now, so you know how this goes. You see this every month. So hopefully we're gonna put an end to that and go forward. So there we go for you, young man. It's your deal there. It's family that wants that as well. And there it is.
They're getting shinier.
Sergeant, here you go, and you got the gold. That says how that looks there. You got that nice shiny gold edge. I'm very happy for you and yours. Congratulations. Thank you. Do as well.
Chris and Mike, we congratulate you both. Chief Clay or either one of the probationary people here tonight?
No, we don't have any.
Okay. And we're going to swear them in on March 4th? The 4th, okay. Got it on my calendar. Okay, at this time we go to communications, and I'll ask Jennifer to please read those. Can we do them as a group, ladies and gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Okay. Keep it moving.
Okay. 12A, Belleville Sounds of Harmony Chorus Banner Request. Request from Belleville Sounds of Harmony Chorus to place the Sounds of Harmony Annual Show Street Banner at North Illinois Street, March 11th through the 25th, 2019. 12B, Orchards Homeowner Association Easter Parade, April 20th, 2019. Request from Orchard Social Committee to hold their annual Easter Parade on Saturday, April 20th, 2019, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Street closure request of 2nd Fairway Court South on Pro Tour Drive and Golf Course Drive to Clubhouse and Pool House, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Additional city services requested, Belleville Police Personnel and Fire Department Vehicle. 12C, Belleville Chris Kindle Market, November 29th, 2019 to December 23rd, 2019. Request from BCEO Belleville Chris Kindle Market to hold the Belleville Chris Kindle Market Friday, November 29th, 2019 to Monday, December 23rd, 2019 on the southeast and northeast quadrant of the public square. Chris Kindle Market Concert Saturday, November 30th, 2019, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Street closure request of first block of West Main Street between Illinois Street and First Street, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, November 30th, 2019. Additional city services requested, no parking signs. Belleville Police Personnel, Street Department personnel for cleanup after concert, trash toters, picnic tables, water barriers, and electrical panels.
I hear a motion to approve these three communication requests. Motion by Alderman Goss, second by Alderman Dillman. Any discussion on these as read by the clerk? All in favor of these three motions signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We go to petitions. We have none. Resolutions, I'd ask for a motion to read by title only. Resolution 3349, 3350, and 3351. And if there's no objection, they're all kind of similar. We move them as a group. We have a motion by Alderman Steele, second by Alderman Schaefer to read these three by title only and as a group. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
14A, Resolution 3349, a resolution amending the annual budget of the City of Belleville, Illinois of the fiscal year beginning on the first day of May 2018 and ending on the 30th day of April 2019, line item transfer. 14B, Resolution 3350, a resolution amending the annual budget of the City of Belleville, Illinois of the fiscal year beginning on the first day of May 2018 and ending on the 30th day of April 2019, supplement budget amendment. 14C, Resolution 3351, a resolution of the City of Belleville, Illinois, authorizing the execution of a joint agreement with St. Clair County, Illinois, Frank Scott Parkway and North Belt West.
Do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 3349, 3350, and 3351? Alderman Schaefer, second by Alderman Bittner. Discussion on those three resolutions. Roll call.
Bittner?
Aye.
Randall? Tyler? Aye. Anthony?
Aye.
Ovian?
Aye.
Schaefer?
Aye.
Dintelman?
Aye.
Gah?
Aye.
Steele?
Aye.
Elmore?
Aye.
Wigington?
Aye.
Barfield?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Kinsella?
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to read by title only ordinance 8302, 8303, and 8304. Motion by Alderman Schaefer. Can we read those as a group as well?
Yep.
By title only and as a group. All in favor of doing so?
I need a second.
We had a second by Alderman Schaefer. The second was,
She made the
she made the motion. Who made the second? Alderman Kinsella, okay. All in favor of that motion to read by title only and as a group signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
15A, ordinance 8302, 2019, an ordinance amending Chapter 70, general provisions of the revised ordinances of the City of Belleville, Illinois, as amended by amending portions of sections thereof. 15B, ordinance 8303, 2019, an ordinance amending ordinances 7935, 2016, 7962, 2016, and 8185, 2018, designating banks as depositories for city funds.
Do I hear a motion to approve those three ordinances?
Wait, I gotta read the.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Getting ahead of myself.
15C, ordinance 8304, 2019, an ordinance authorizing sale and conversion of personal property, 2004 Dodge Dakota Housing Department vehicle. That's the repeal.
Okay. Now I'd ask for a motion to read approve the three ordinances as just read. Schaefer, second by Kinsella. Discussion on any of those three? Yes, sir.
Is that a different Dodge Dakota than the one we decided to keep?
No, this is the one as I explained a minute ago.
This is an ordinance repealing.
It's repealing the one,
ordinance that
we originally asked to scrap it.
Right.
When we had trouble finding a unit to put that second dog catcher cage in, this one fit. So then we went back and our mechanic at the street department said, let me look at that truck, and he did quite a bit of work, but we did it in-house, so there was not that as much, it wasn't like sending it out to a shop.
Sure.
And they managed to rehab that truck where we feel we got a good backup for at least a time being.
It was just confusing to me how it's worded. It says an ordinance authorizing the sale conversion.
It's actually the repeal. We're repealing this ordinance.
Okay.
It's just not in the title.
Okay?
Thank you.
So we have those three ordinances as presented. If there's no further questions, roll call.
Randall?
Aye.
Tyler?
Aye.
Anthony?
Aye.
Ovian? Schaefer?
Aye.
Dintelman?
Aye.
Gah?
Aye.
Steele? Elmore?
Aye.
Wigington?
Aye.
Barfield?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Kinsella?
Aye.
Bittner?
Aye.
Motion carries. Under miscellaneous and new business, I'd ask for a motor fuel claims in the amount of $37,000, $766.05. Hear a motion? Alderman Dittelman, second by Elmore. Do I hear discussion on motor fuel claims? Roll call.
Tyler?
Aye.
Anthony?
Aye.
Ovian?
Aye.
Schaefer?
Aye.
Dintelman?
Aye.
Gah?
Aye.
Steele? Elmore?
Aye.
Wigington?
Aye.
Barfield?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Kinsella?
Aye.
Bittner?
Aye.
Randall?
Motion carries. If there's nothing further, at this time I'd ask for a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing a litigation of a workman's comp claim. Motion by Schaefer, second by Hazel. All in favor of going into executive session, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will come out, folks, and most likely have one motion before we close the meeting reference this case. So if I could ask you anybody else coming in, Jason? Is that it? Well, we can start now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in open session. I'd like to ask if someone's willing to make a motion to settle the workman's comp case that was presented in executive session moments ago for $25,500. This would give our attorney, Aaron Chappell, the authority to settle for that amount. Do I hear a motion? Kinsella, second by Schaefer. Any discussion on this? Roll call.
Anthony?
Aye.
Ovian?
Aye.
Schaefer?
Aye.
Dintelman?
Aye.
Gah?
Aye.
Steele? Elmore?
Aye.
Wigington?
Aye.
Barfield?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Kinsella?
Aye.
Bittner? Randall?
Aye.
Tyler?
Aye.
That motion carries. If nothing further, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Motion by Gah, seconded by Schaefer. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.